Hey everyone, it's Jonathan here, founder of Driving Academy, and in today's video I'm going to give you 3 ways on how truck drivers can deal with feeling homesick. Now, one of the main fears of people actually getting into the trucking industry is, oh my god, I'm going to be away from home so long, I'm going to feel homesick. And that is something that some people do deal with, but before you actually get your CDL license, if that's something that's too big of a problem for you to deal with, I want to make sure that you're aware that there's actually local jobs available, which means that you can actually be home every single day as a truck driver if that's what you choose to do. Now, if you are a truck driver and you're currently on the long haul and you haven't been home for a few weeks or maybe a month or so, are some ways on how you can try to reduce that feeling of being homesick itself, right? So now this kind of works with any type of feeling that you do have. And if you follow these 3 things, you should be able to rock and roll and move you forward in a positive and fulfilled way no matter what you're doing, especially in trucking. The first thing that people have to understand to handle their homesickness thing is have a clear goal. Why are you doing what you're doing, right? You got into trucking, is it just to pay your bills? Because if that's all it is, just to pay your bills and kind of stay up, then of course paying your bills is not really going to change your life that much. And at that point, now the homesickness feeling is going to start going up, because now you're going to be like, hey, if I'm not going to change my life at all, why not just be home with the people that I love, right? So that's fully understandable. So when you have bigger goals and you're very clear on what you want and why you want them, it's going to keep you motivated through those tough times of feeling homesick. And that's purely okay, right? Now, the other thing that you should do is you should understand, in order to get more in life, to get those big goals, you should probably be learning more as well. Because if you knew what you needed to know in order to get those goals, you probably would have had it already. So you're either missing a skill, missing a mindset technique, or it's missing some belief in yourself, or maybe it's just some time that's needed to take place for those skills to develop. Now, one of the beautiful things that you have as a truck driver is that you can actually go to university every single day. With all the new technology that we have out there when it comes to podcasts and audiobooks and things like that, any subject that you want to learn, you can actually become an expert at, because you're going to be behind the wheel so often. Now, one of the ways that you can actually get closer to your goal, show yourself that you're having progress every single day. Because truck drivers who feel homesick are those people who don't have goals and they don't feel like they're actually achieving anything and nothing's really changing in their life. So if you're learning something new every day that's helping you develop your skills in order to help you get closer to your goal, you can be very future outcome driven, which means now, I'm not saying that your family's not going to matter as much. I'm saying that that feeling of homesickness now has a purpose, and now you can actually push through that where other people in the industry will not. So have big goals. Make sure you're using your time wisely and learning new skills to help you get to those goals much faster. Because the easiest way for a human to be happy is to have progress in their life, right? Now, number 2 thing that you have to understand when it comes to homesickness is feel connected. Humans are actually species that need to be connected with other humans. So when you actually are out and about, maybe at the truck stops, maybe at the delivery spots, make sure that you're actually interacting with other humans. When you have that, you can actually build those relationships. Now, because of the time period that we're living in, you don't have to write out postcards to send back home. You can call them every single day, you can FaceTime them, all that stuff, so you can actually do feel connected. Now, of course, nothing can beat the actual experience of you hugging your kids or hugging your loved ones when you get home, and that physical touch, physical connection. But staying connected is so much easier now than it was ever in the past. Now, depending on which company you actually work for, some companies actually allow you to bring passengers with you when you actually go on these road trips. So for instance, when my dad was driving a truck, I actually went onto the truck with him, and I remember going to Ohio and things like that. And that experience and that memory that I built as a child was super memorable. And that's the same thing you guys can do too, with your wife, with your husband, with your kids, whoever you want. And maybe some people even want to travel with their dogs or cats. There's companies that will allow you to do that too. So if that's something that's important to you, make sure when you get your CDL license, especially if you come to the best CDL school in the country, make sure you're finding a company that can actually help you get closer to your target of getting people to come closer with you. Imagine going on vacation and going on a road trip and getting paid for it. It's just an amazing thing to do, and all the memories that you'll actually pick up from there. And the final thing you can do to reduce your homesickness is actually be better at planning your routes, right? So when you are planning your routes, there's 2 ways people usually go. Most people just look at the load boards and be like, okay, what's gonna pay me more? I'm gonna go from here to there to here to there to there. And then they look up and they look at the calendar, oh man, I haven't been home for a month or 2 months or 3. Let me head back home. If you want to be able to plan things a little bit better, make sure you're more selective on the actual route that you're gonna be taking. Say you want to be home every week or every 2 weeks or once a month or whatever it is, make sure when you're picking your routes and make sure you're planning ahead of schedule. So if you already know that, hey, I'm going to go from New Jersey to Dallas, Texas, before you get to Dallas, Texas, you should already be looking for a load in that day on Dallas, Texas to get you back to New Jersey if that's your target, as an example. So make sure you're planning ahead, and if you can do it because you're a one-man show, make sure who's ever dispatching you understands your targets as well. So step number 1, have big goals and focus on the progress. If you have small wins every single day, you're going to feel happy, you're going to feel fulfilled, and that feeling of homesickness is going to reduce, right? Step number 2 is make sure you're connecting with humans. Humans you know, humans you don't know, and that's going to make you feel a lot more connected. And number 3 is going to be do a better job of actually planning. Don't just be a victim to your environment. You can actually control your future by planning ahead of schedule, right? So if you follow those 3 tips, your level of homesickness will go from a level 10 to maybe a level 2. And that's a lot more manageable when it comes to dealing with truck drivers and the stresses and the beauties of actually becoming a truck driver. Now, if your goal is to get yourself a CDL license, I invite you to come to the best CDL school in the entire country, here at Driving Academy. We have plans to open up locations nationwide. Check out our website, cdldrivingacademy.com. Find a location near you. We're open up 7 days a week, which means we get to work around the schedule that you need. And all you need to get started is $500 down, and we can work out a payment plan for the rest that's completely interest-free. And the beautiful part about everything is, once you get your license, we'll actually help you find a job at the same time. So what are you waiting for? Check out our website, cdldrivingacademy.com. Again, cdldrivingacademy.com. Thanks. Have a great day. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel. It's really going to help us out. Click on that button. And if you want to continue yourself on your road to freedom, here's more videos to watch. There's endless amounts. Hopefully we get to see each other one day very soon. Thanks.